let's take a look at what has happened thus far in the Atlantic Division. The 1981 season opened on CBS October 10th with a Friday night game in Seattle with the world champion Los Angeles Lakers.
Lakers trail it by a point. John Johnson grab, stolen by Nixon. Cooper back to Nixon. Nixon comes in behind his back. Cooper's up. Lakers have got the field goal, a second to go.
The Lakers went on to win, successfully starting the defense of their title. They won by beating Philadelphia in 6 games. In the East, the Sixers came roaring out of the chute, posting the best record in basketball and vowing not to lose 2 games back-to-back all season. The Sixers, with the strongest bench in the NBA, are led by the incomparable Dr. J, Julius Erving, passing here to rookie guard Andrew Toney. Up in Boston, the defending Atlantic Division champs had last year's Rookie of the Year, Larry Bird, picking up where he left off. A new force for the Celtics is their #1 draft pick, 6'11", Kevin McHale. The Knicks are off to their best start since '74. Red Holzman's crew, with Campy Russell acquired from Cleveland, and the dynamic duo of Michael Ray Richardson and Ray Williams in the backcourt, have won 8 of their last 10 games. And so in the Atlantic, Boston is 5 games off the pace. Washington and New Jersey bring up the rear.
And as you can see by the standings, you're going to have a real rat race. I haven't seen the teams play yet, Bill, but you have.
Yes, Philadelphia got off to a great start. You know, those teams in that conference got to be a little frustrated. Philadelphia is just off to a tremendous start, and they only got a 4-game lead on Boston, who must be frustrated because they've won 7 straight games in lost ground. And Knicks are playing the best ball they've played since '74, and they can't pick up anything.
Okay, now let's update you on what's happening in the Central Division. In the Central Division, Bob Lanier and the Milwaukee Bucks got off to an 11-2 start as Don Nelson was glad to have Lanier from the start of the season. The Bucks have excellent balance, and also the man many consider to be the best all-around forward in the NBA, Marcus Johnson. The quarterback of the club is Quinn Buckner, here passing to Bucks' second-year man, Sidney Moncrief, who has been spectacular. Many feel will be a coming superstar in the league. Indiana is vastly improved, and one of the big reasons is this man, new coach Jack McKinney, who has recovered from his devastating bicycle accident of last year. McKinney, the man who started the Lakers off on the right foot last year. Finding new successes, Billy Knight with the Indiana Pacers, but a big factor is George McGinnis, who once again is playing like the McGinnis of old. Another helpful addition for the Indiana Pacers, coming from Phoenix, defensive standout Don Buzzi, as the Pacers are starting to put it together. In the Central Division, Indiana's 4.5 back. Atlanta closing now. They've won 7 of their last 9, and Chicago has won 3 in a row. Bill, what about Milwaukee?
Well, they're playing about like I expected. They're a tough team. They were really, I was surprised when they got eliminated in the playoffs last year, and they're off to the kind of start I expected. But I didn't expect Indiana to get off the kind of start they got off to.
Rick?
But don't forget the Atlanta team. They had a lot of injuries at the start of the year. They had won 7 ball games in a row until Seattle beat them the other night. They're up and coming, as well as Chicago. They're going to have a battle in that division as well.
Okay, now let's check on the Midwest Division. In the Midwest, San Antonio is under the direction of new coach Stan Albeck. And the Spurs, when you think of them, you think of number 44, the Iceman George Gervin, who is 3rd right now in scoring in the NBA. The Spurs are a different basketball team. They're more physical, and one of the reasons is the new man in the middle, George Johnson. Johnson has been a power on the boards as the Spurs have won 12 of their first 15 games and lead the division by 8. But Kansas City's getting remarkable play from Otis Birdsong, who's averaging 27 points, and there's always Moses Malone, who's playing well in Houston. There's some excitement in Utah as the Jazz, with the league's leading scorer, Adrian Dantley, and rookie sensation Darrell Griffith have developed a 1-2 punch. Griffith is averaging over 20 points a game, Dantley 30, and both are the leading vote getters thus far in the All-Star balloting. Spurs a different team.
Yes, they're playing a lot more physical, a lot better defense, and they're off to a better start than expected. In fact, they're so different, I even saw George Gervin playing defense.
But the other teams have gotten off to a rather shaky start. The Utah team much improved with the 2 players we talked about a little bit earlier, but you also have to take into the fact that the Kansas City team is going to be a team to be reckoned with. They have too many good players to stay down in the standings.
So let's go out to the final division, out west, the Pacific Division. In the Pacific Division, the Phoenix Suns have the 2nd best record in the NBA. And one of the reasons, DJ Dennis Johnson, acquired from Seattle in exchange for Paul Westphal. Johnson, considered by many to be the best defensive guard in the league. Coach John McLeod has moved Walter Davis to guard, giving the Suns an explosive backcourt, a backcourt that has been giving fits to the Los Angeles Lakers. And speaking of the Lakers, they received a jolt November 18th when the Magic Man, Irvin Johnson, sustained a knee injury that shelved him until sometime in March. And since he has left, the Lakers have posted a 9-8 record after being 15-5 at that stage of the season. Taking a look at the standings in the Pacific Division, Golden State now is one game above 500. Seattle is starting to come on, and Portland, by the way, has won 10 of their last 11 games. Joe Barry Carroll, Golden State's top pick, and all-world Lloyd Free lead a fast-improving Warrior team. Lenny Wilkins' team in Seattle has been struggling. As forward, Lonnie Shelton has been lost for the year with a wrist injury. However, James Bailey has been trying to take up the slack in the middle. But the big news is that Paul Westphal, after missing most of the year with a stress fracture of his foot, returned to action just this week.
Bill, Phoenix, L.A., they're kind of running away from people, but what about the rest of them?
Well, Phoenix is a class of that division because they can handle injuries better than any other club because they play all their guys. L.A.'s had a tough problem with Magic Johnson, but Portland and Seattle are starting to come, so that's not over yet, not by a long shot.
Okay, let's set the stage now for this game today. The Boston Celtics, you mentioned they're winning but not gaining any ground.
Yes, they've been playing excellent ball. They're playing as well or better than they played last year. And they're getting stronger as it goes, but and the Knicks are playing the best ball, as we said, since 1974. And they're a young ball club, and they're just going to get better. And so this division can end up a lot closer than it is now because you got three teams that are really playing good, but these two teams, neither one can afford to lose today.
Okay, Rick Barry's with Coach Bill Fitch of Boston. Let's join him.
Bill, you had a few changes this year, and your team has really gotten things together after a little shaky start.
Well, we've got one of your old teammates, Robert Parrish, filling in for what I think was the finest defensive center in the league last year in Dave Cowens, and he's done a great job. We've missed Dave, but Robert's done a fine job for us. We've missed M.L. Carr, but Chris Ford and Tiny Archibald are just as good this year as they were last year, even though they're a year older, and the bench has been better for us, I think.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you play. Thanks a lot and good luck in today's game, and a Merry Christmas to you. Let's go back to Gary and Bill right now.
The New York Knicks, Bill, a very young team. They're starting to get some maturity.
Yes, they're starting to play well, and they play best when they get their front line involved in the game. Their two guards are excellent ball players, but they have to be careful to make sure that they get big Bill Cartwright and that front line into their offense. And when they do that, their defense is better, and they're a good ball club. But that's one thing they have to be careful about is that they have to make sure that they get the whole team involved in the offense, which sometimes they forget to do.
Okay, let's go back to Rick Barry with Coach Red Holzman.
Red, the young team seems to be developing somewhat. That year's experience has helped. Tell us a little about your team this year.
Coming around. We got 3 breaks this year. We got Campy Russell in a trade, and we got a new Sly Williams who has become a pretty good player for us, and a guy like Marvin Webster whose knee hasn't been bothering him at all.
How about the big fella in the middle, Cartwright? Is he's coming along?
He's coming along very well, and the fact that Marvin is there behind him has made him a better player.
Well, good luck to you and a Merry Christmas, Red. Thank you very much for spending the time. Back to Gary.
All right, Rick, and you can see this Christmas Day crowd as we take a look at the starting lineups. Bird, Maxwell, Parrish, Archibald, and Ford. That's been the lineup. It's been that way since M.L. Carr went out of there with that fractured foot. And there, the two officials, Wally Rooney on the right and Lee Jones on the left. As a very festive crowd here today. And Bill, there's always something special, I guess, coming to Madison Square Garden as Larry Bird coming in here as the Rookie of the Year from last season.
And he's playing better now than he did last year. Because, you know, he's very quickly learned what he can do and what he can't do. And what he's doing is really emphasizing what he does well.
What I'm impressed by, Bill, is the fact that he's doing such an outstanding job on the boards. He's one of the leading rebounders in the league this year.
As you take a look at Ray Williams and Michael Ray Richardson, two excellent young backcourt men for this New York Knicks team. New York losing the last time out. That was in Chicago. Broke a 5-game winning streak for them. But as we mentioned, they've won 8 of their last 10. The biggest problem they have is being in the same division with Philadelphia.
And Boston.
Here is Robert Parrish going up against Cartwright and Williams. Williams, who's leading this team in scoring thus far with a 21.5 average. That's 13th in the league. Williams off to Cartwright. Williams picked up by Ford. He loves to go inside, and he draws a foul.
picking up the foul.
On the good defensive teams, one thing you have to establish is that you're going to go inside. You have to go inside and challenge them, because if you don't, you end up shooting jump shots. And on a good team, if you just shoot 15 and 20-foot jump shots, they'll run away, especially a team like Boston that likes to run.
They get those rebounds, and they'll be off to the races, and that's their game. That opportunities down the floor.
Williams is just an excellent free throw shooter. Look at that, 83%. So he has 2 coming. And the Knicks jump off to a 2-0 lead. Glad to have you with us on this Christmas Day. Chris Ford in the backcourt along with Archibald, but you can see how Bird can handle the pressure very well as he brings it up. Off to Archibald. Archibald playing even better than he did last year in the estimation of Coach Bill Fitch. Parrish, the man they picked up from Golden State, a welcome addition. Maxwell into Parrish. Parrish against Cartwright.
There's Robert Parrish. And in the score,
it's all even 2-2.
One thing Robert Parrish can do for a man who's 7 feet tall is shoot the outside shot, and that really helps to get the other big guy away from the basket and open up underneath.
Campy Russell off to Cartwright. Cartwright in against Parrish, left-hander. Larry Bird brings it off to Archibald. Here's Maxwell. Cedric Maxwell. Rebound by Larry Demick, and Demick has been doing a very good job on the boards for this New York Knicks team. Michael Ray Richardson batted away by Archibald, saved by Cartwright. 4-2 New York. Cartwright is a man who this year came in 10 pounds lighter, had an extensive off-season conditioning program which has helped him. He's now out picking up Parrish. Maxwell, who for the last 2 years has led the NBA in field goal percentage, and he's hammered. Maxwell has had to move out more this year, Rick, because they're using that high-low post, and I don't know if that'll shooting percentage will drop off or not.
Here you see the move to the basket. He's got an opening. He takes it in, coming over to help out. Cartwright a little bit late, and the foul was committed. And again, the Celtics seeing the opportunity to take it inside and penetrate. Any good basketball team, as Bill pointed out, will try to get inside the other team's gut. That's the only way you're going to win consistently.
That field goal percentage you're looking at right now is 5th in the NBA. Now with a chance to tie it up is Maxwell, 4th-year man from North Carolina, Charlotte.
Well, Bill Cartwright wanted to tell him Merry Christmas. And I'm glad to see you here today.
And don't drive down the middle again.
Is that intimidation or is that intimidation?
Well, the coaches like to say, if you're going to take a foul, make sure the guy knows you took one.
Batted away, but Williams on the retrieve. Ray Williams, whose brother Gus still not playing basketball this year, Rick. Is he going to get back this year?
Doesn't look like it.
Here is Demick. That's kicked by Bird, so they'll out of bounds the ball.
Hard to believe a guy, Bill's turning down $500 and some $1,000 a year.
Well, maybe he's looking for something bigger and better.
Definitely he is.
You've made that kind of money in the dynasty of the Boston Celtics, didn't you, Bill?
Right.
Michael Ray. Tip.
American currency, that kind of money.
You saw the reject. Williams inside. Nice move. Ray Williams gives the Knicks a 6-4 lead. Williams and Richardson just going to get better and better. They complement each other so well in that backcourt. This is an exciting young team, this New York Knicks team. Larry Bird, Campy Russell. Look at that move by Bird.
And the second move, he made 2 great moves. He lost Campy Russell, gave a little head fake, and lost the man coming over. Cartwright laid it in.
On the move, Campy Russell. Russell's a man that they picked up in that 3-corner trade that involved Kansas City and Cleveland, and they're glad to have him. Here's Bird again, and look at the double coverage on him. Archibald, Maxwell can't handle it. Demick, up to Michael Ray, Sugar Richardson. What a move. Parrish, and he's fouled. That'll be a backcourt foul. Campy Russell.
Fouled by Campy Russell, a backcourt foul.
Now watch this move by Bird right here. There's Campy. Campy goes forward. He goes the other way. When you go forward, you can't do anything. Now a good pump fake right there. Loses the man. Cartwright lays the ball up into the basket. 2 fine moves by Larry Bird.
There's Red Holzman, one of 2 coaches in the history of this league to win over 600 games. As you look at Parrish,
One thing that Parrish has had to learn to do in the estimation of Bill Fitch is push himself a little bit. To really go all out physically.
And Parrish hits them both. For a big man, Parrish will shoot 70% or over for the year from the charity line. 8-7, Knicks by 1. Richardson, Archibald on him. Here's Williams, Chris Ford. Cartwright with Parrish. That's going to be a big matchup and some pushing in there. Parrish picking up his second foul.
second personal foul.
And the Knicks will inbound the ball. That's going to be quite a shoving match, isn't it? Back to the live action now. Williams with Ford on him. ML Carr, they hope he'll join the Celtics team by mid-January after fracturing his foot in the 8th game of the year. Williams inside. Foul. No, wait a minute. They're calling charging on Ray Williams.
Ray Williams tried to muscle in, it looked like that time, Bill, and got called for it.
First personal foul.
Looked like for a moment Parrish might have picked up his 3rd foul in the early going. 8-7, the Knicks. 8.5 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Maxwell with Demick on him. Demick started the last 7 games for the Knicks. There's Archibald. Bird. Larry Bird. Nice touch. Larry Bird. Just amaze you game in and game out. Bill Fitch says, you know, as a second-year man, you'd think he'd have to improve in something, but I have to think about what it would be. Russell can't get it to go. Bird out to Ford. 9-8, the Celtics. Ford.
Chris Ford.
Well, you've got to stop that initial penetration. You can't let the man with the ball take it all the way to the basket.
I tell you, Chris Ford gets that hot hand. He really can be dangerous outside. 11-8. The Celtics. Cartwright. Bird trying to keep it in. Richardson and the 6'5" guard. Follow tip by Demick. They can't get it to go. Off to Archibald. Archibald to Bird. To Parrish. Parrish hustling the boards, and he can't get it to go. Here comes Williams. Ray Williams, you saw the Celtics fill the lanes very well on that last drive down the floor. Maxwell going for the steal. And he has committed the foul on Campy Russell.
He had good defensive position. He didn't have to reach then. He held the position. See, in good defense, you don't have to take the ball. Just stop the play and make them start over, because then the clock is working for you instead of against you.
And we have a timeout here at Madison Square Garden. 7 minutes, 24 seconds to go in this first quarter of play, as the Celtics trying to win their 9th straight game of the year. With Bill Russell and Rick Berry, I'm Gary Bender, as we have 7:24 to go in this first quarter of play. Thus far, Boston's hit 4 of 8 shots. New York, on the other hand, only 3 of 11.
5-second violation.
And they did not inbounds the ball. Campy Russell had 5 seconds to do so.
Bill Cartwright was wide open in front of him. I don't understand why he just didn't throw a bounce pass into him.
Well, it's hard to see those big guys sometimes, Rick. And you never throw a bounce pass to a guy over 6'6".
There's a foul on Larry Demick trying to reach over Maxwell. You can see Boston getting that ball inside.
Second personal foul. And New York has 3 team fouls.
That's the 3rd team foul against the Knicks. Archibald to Larry Bird. Bird off to Parrish on his tiptoes, no less, into Maxwell.
That's a beautiful set play that Boston runs, and Maxwell did a great job of getting the man on his back. Bad defense that time.
Celtics off very effectively here in the early going. 13-8. Richardson inside. Beautiful move.
Ray Richardson.
3rd-year man from Montana who played his high school basketball in Denver, averaging 15.5 a game.
This man sitting next to me would have never allowed that layup. I don't know where the center was in that play, Bill.
Oh, he's just trying to stay out of the way.
13-10. Maxwell makes it a 5-point lead. He's fouled and have a chance for a 3-point play as Demick commits a foul.
That's the same play again, but watch. Now look at the position. See the position right here. Demick has had a position. Maxwell had great position. The weak side never came over to help out on that play. There was no one there.
And then Demick, defensively, he's trying to deny the ball, but you cannot deny the ball and hold a position. You got to deny the ball, but you got to be ready to react, to go back and play different defense. You can't just make a move and stay there.
Larry Bird traveled with a basketball after Maxwell missed that free throw. It's 15-10 Boston. Maxwell thus far was 6 of the Celtics' 15 points. Here's Richardson. Richardson, as a rookie, was kind of a confused player, but last year led the NBA in assists and steals. And that time, as he went in, he turned the ball over, and that will go back to Boston.
Just little steps. He wasn't real big ones. And he didn't get very far with them anyway.
And usually they don't even catch that. That's 2 walking violations. Usually the officials let walking go quite a bit in the NBA.
That's the 3rd turnover against the Knicks. Chris Ford trying to get it inside. He does to Maxwell, and he's having a heyday in there.
Now, that's 3 times in a row they've done that. There hasn't been any weak side help. I think you may have to call a timeout and start to talk to your players and say, hey, fellas, let's try and stop this.
Maxwell now with 8 points. The Celtics up by 7. Richardson with Tiny Archibald. 6'5" against 6'1". And a jumper by Sly Williams, who just checked in. Maxwell off to Archibald. Williams has been a big surprise this year. Look at Tiny. Rebound by Cartwright. Out it comes to Campy Russell. Ray Williams, and he's fouled as he moves inside.
Fouled by Larry Bird.
Larry Bird committing the personal foul.
Personal foul, and Boston's 14th foul, their 4th.
That's the play on our camera behind the basket. You couldn't see the foul, which actually happened against Larry Bird before we picked that play up.
At the line, Williams with 4 points. You see his seasonal average. Last year, he was just about at that average, 20.9. So he's been a very consistent player the last 2 years. He had a high of 42 points this year. 17-12, pressure now by the Celtics, or I should say the Knicks.
And they break it by letting the forward Bird take it up the floor against Russell. Good, smart move there.
That's a luxury, isn't it, to have a forward that can do that. Maxwell out to Archibald, to Bird. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Bird to Parrish. Beautiful ball movement.
Boston leads 19-12.
19-12, Boston. Knicks, if they haven't gotten that break down the floor, have had a tough time getting the ball inside. Cartwright, Parrish on him. And the 7-footer is able to hit. 19-14, 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. 4 points now for Cartwright. And the foul. Let's go back and look at that pass by Larry Bird.
This is what makes him so valuable. Here you see he catches the ball, he makes his dribble, sees the man come over, flips it right back to Robert Parrish. Parrish, the good jump shooter from medium distance, nothing but net.
On the other end, Williams committing the foul. The penalty now in, as at the line is Archibald.
On that replay we just saw, that happens a great deal of time when you get good penetration. The spot that the guy has left that's driving is always open. So if a guy can almost drop it right behind him in most cases, and the guy, if his teammates know that, you get a lot of easy shots doing that.
21-14, Boston. Here's Sly Williams. He's had some ankle trouble. Williams, Ray Williams. Ford will have to respect him out there. Ray Williams now with 8 of the Knicks 16. Archibald, he's just challenging people, and Cartwright commits the foul.
Fouled by Bill Cartwright.
As Tiny's moved the basket, Cartwright waits for him, goes straight up in the air. There's the body contact afterwards. Bill, how would you have played a particular play like that? I mean, you got to stay back a little bit, don't you?
Well, actually, you got to come out a little more and get the angle. See, Cartwright just went for the ball, and he had to go across Tiny's body. Whereas if he had stepped out a little further so he could get an angle to come across, he could have blocked the shot very easily. Because he used the right hand, the proper hand to use, which is the right hand in that particular case. But he didn't go for an angle, so that anytime there's contact, the guy gets, it's like a three-pointer. It's giving him 2 free throws, though.
Archibald's hit 4 from the line in a row. Sylvester Williams. Williams, a big surprise. He's played so much better than a year ago when he only averaged 5 points a game. He's averaging 15 this year. 23-18, the Knicks now starting to climb back in a little bit. Here is Parrish. Cartwright playing him tough to Archibald. Thus far, the Celtics haven't made any changes at the 4-minute mark. Three-pointer. Chris Ford, 3 points, and he's one of the best in the NBA at that.
26-18.
In fact, he is 7th in the league in three-pointers. Rebound, Cartwright. Cartwright, who's not known for his rebounding, really horsed the boards on that one. 6-point lead now for the Boston Celtics. Getting ready to come in is going to be Rick Roby for Boston. Larry Bird off to Ford, batted away by Richardson. Bird, three-pointer, and a rebound by Richardson. This Boston team will put him up from out there. Richardson, and the crowd now is ignited on that play by Michael Ray.
I'm really amazed how they let the guys drive to the basket, Bill.
Both teams are not making the transition very well so far, because both teams letting the guards from the other teams come all the way down, penetrate all the way to the basket, and you've got to stop that man with the ball.
Boston with a 4-point lead. Well, I don't know. Bill, you're not new. You've been here before. We're just the rookies in this department this year.
Hey, one thing's nice about working with Bill, it makes me feel younger.
Well, I tell you, I feel small. You know, you two guys standing by me at the start of the show intimidated me a little bit.
Number 40 is in 40-yard, replacing...
We're ready to go now at the 3:17 mark of this first quarter. Boston with a 4-point lead as Larry Bird will inbounds the ball.
What I'm happy to see, Bill, is the fact that the old Celtic-Nick rivalry, as Roby's into the ballgame, Rick Roby for the Celtics, it seems to really getting back into the type of play that they had before, the intensity of it, because you got a team that's improved in the Knicks.
Well, what has happened, you know, this is the first time in a long time that they both have had good teams in the same year.
Rebound by Williams. Williams, there's that penetrating move that can't be Russell, and Knicks have used that well. It's now a 2-point game. Beautiful pass from Archibald to Roby.
That is a super pass from that distance to have a bounce pass on the money. Those balls sometimes will stay down on you and never come up.
Archibald just been fantastic in the assist department his entire career. He's 5th in the NBA this year. Williams, and it's again a 2-point game, and this game starting out in very impressive fashion now. Here's Archibald. Beautiful. Archibald's wasting no time, is he?
There's not many better than he is bringing it up the floor.
I've noticed that neither one of these teams is stopping the penetration of the ball. Defensively, you should stop the ball at the foul line. No matter whose man it is, you should stop the ball at the foul line at worst.
Tough shot by Campy Russell. Archibald, there they go again. Maxwell, they just aren't getting back, and the foul will go on Williams.
And Williams has turned around and he lost the ball. The one thing you should never do as a defensive man is lose sight of the ball. Williams lost the ball. Tiny saw that his head was turned, and he threw the ball right past him. Well, watch the play here if we can pick up Williams. You see his head turn. He didn't know where the ball was. Now he sees it. It's too late. He's turned around again. The pass goes inside. Maxwell has it. Goes up. There's a block, but he caught him a little bit with the body.
But that was a nice pirouette.
It certainly was.
A pirouette? Is that a basketball term?
A lot of ballet involved in this game.
All right, 3 to make 2 for Maxwell. He's now with 9 points, now in double figures with 10, and it's 32-26 Boston.
It wasn't exactly the nutcracker.
I think Bill's getting nervous because there's no defense being played out here, don't you?
He's liable to put a suit on in a minute.
That's right.
Well, what these teams are doing, they're playing pretty good defense once the other team is set up. But they're not setting up, the defense is not getting a chance to setting up, and they're not stopping the ball. And that's the kind of, that makes a difference over a 48-minute game. The number of layups the other team gets, or free throws they get that they don't have to really work for.
Knicks, by the way, in this first quarter, Bill, committed 8 personal fouls. And in the baseline area again, and there's their 9th. As Williams commits his 2nd.
Now let's watch this play coming back again. See if we can watch the weak side. Now here you see the post up inside by Maxwell. See, there's nobody on the weak side. Now all of a sudden Webster comes. Now there's the man Richardson. He should have been into that lane already when the ball was in the deep corner, ready to help in that type of a post up situation. The weak side help is non-existent by the Knicks.
Well, what the defense is not doing is they're not adjusting back and forth. You see, they're playing defense stationary. They get into what they call a defense position. They stay there, but you got to keep moving on defense. You got to play defense with your feet and not your hands.
Yeah, don't stay up on your man when the ball's on the other side of the floor. You've got to drop inside to help.
Cornbread Maxwell, a high man on the floor now with 12 points. Marvin Webster now in for the Knicks at the high post. Sylvester Williams, that's a tough shot. Bird can't handle it. Williams has it. And it's 34-28. Williams leading the Knicks with 12 points. This time they can't handle it. And so the Knicks will go back the other way. Bill Fitch a little upset about that one, but most of those moves, hurry up down the floor, have paid off for him. That is 3 turnovers against Boston as opposed to 4 for the Knicks as Red Holzman. Holzman, 60 years old. His 12th year as the coach of the Knicks. Here's Marvin Webster, who's been playing very well, and that'll give him some confidence. 4-point lead again for the Celtics. Marvin is a happy man this year. He's made some very significant contributions coming off the bench. They'll put both he and Cartwright in a lot at the same time, and that will be another turnover against Boston. All of a sudden, they're getting a little wild with their passes on the baseline. Chance to cut it to 2 is Richardson. Rejected goaltending against Rick Roby.
Now that time line, Chris Ford should have been in to stop. Now watch the drive. Watch on the other side of your screen. Right here, you see the defensive men from the Celtics who turned his head, and that time it was Maxwell, actually, who should have been inside to pick up that drive to the basket. And you saw the goaltending play there. He lost sight of the ball. He was watching his man, and he was not in a position to help.
Richardson now with 6 points, and the Celtics with a 2-point lead. Maxwell to Archibald, and they come out to pick him up. Williams playing tough on him. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bird with Williams on him. Roby, Ford, 5 seconds on the shot clock. And with 3, Ford can't get it to go. Marvin Webster has a rebound. There's your time left in the first quarter. And they're going to go for the last shot now this first quarter and a chance to tie it up. Williams tied it. Off to Ford with 1 second. And they had a chance to take the lead at the end of the first quarter of play. And so, after 1 quarter of play from Madison Square Garden, we're all even. The Celtics and Knicks, 34 all. Well, after 12 minutes of play here in the Garden, we're all even, 34 all. Boston off the mark effectively, but the Knicks came right back into it.
Well, they have not played consistent good defense in either team. You know, games like this, now they'll shift because these two excellent coaches will make adjustments. Not just in changing personnel, but make technical adjustments and cut down the scoring a great deal from the first quarter. Now, the first quarter, neither team established anything defensively. And the good teams have to establish things. You can't win consistently without playing good defense. And so they'll have to make some adjustments. They may be very subtle, but they'll have to make some adjustments. For example, the Knicks can't let Maxwell post inside without helping the weak side. That means that the guy that's guarding Maxwell and then the weak side guy are going to have to work a little harder.
Maxwell, 12 points in that first quarter to show what you're just talking about. Here's Gerald Henderson, who came in at the quarter break. Also, Mike Glynn has checked in for the Knicks. So Richardson in the backcourt along with Glynn. Glynn's been in a shooting slump, and he's not going to get that one to go. Sylvester Williams does.
Takes the lead, 36-34.
36-34, the Knicks with the lead. Kevin McHale will get ready to check in for Boston. Archibald, a penetrating move. He's fouled. A basket will count. And the foul on Marvin Webster. That's taking on the big people.
Marvin Webster, his first personal foul.
Well, you have to anticipate.
Kevin McHale.
You have to anticipate a guy like Tony Archibald coming in. And so the center has to start to get ready to block that shot now. He can't wait.
Bill, it looked like on that play that Webster was up a little bit high on Roby, who was out setting a screen. If he had dropped back into the middle, there's no sense Roby's no threat 25 feet from the basket. He would have had a better position to pick Archibald up that time.
Archibald now the chance for three-point play. He has 8. Webster with a rebound. It's all even, 36. Look at the field goal percentage. Started evening up after the Knicks hit 3 of their first 11.
Now, what you want to ask yourself is that great shooting or bad defense?
I don't know. What was it?
I would say the latter myself.
Cartwright, McHale, who just checked in. Now, you're going to hear a lot about this young man, Kevin McHale, the #1 draft pick from Minnesota.
Look at the size of those 4 guys right there. Almost 4 7-footers.
Oh, they caught him asleep. Richardson. Michael Ray Richardson gives the Knicks a lead of 2.
Hey, so you can't say that was great shooting on that play.
8 points for Richardson. Williams leading with 14 for the Knicks. Roby trying to go up against Webster, and that's going to be off of Boston.
See if we can pick up the mistake on
Richardson.
See if we can pick up the mistake on the inbounds play right here. There's Richardson. 2 men went. Gerald Henderson lost his man. Simple as that.
That's kind of embarrassing, huh?
On a switch. I think they switched out. He was following his man, and other man made a switch tiny, and he didn't talk and communicate.
Well, the guy's only 6'5". You can lose the guy 6'5". It's those big guys that are hard to lose.
Williams out to Richardson. Nice pass, but Cartwright can't handle it. And Cartwright may have caught something in his mouth or his nose there. He's shaken up. He may take a 20-second timeout.
A little leather.
A little leather?
Yes.
They have their twin towers in there. That's what they call it when they have Webster and Cartwright in there. That's a rule change this year. Used to be called the 20-second injury timeout. Now they just call it a 20-second timeout.
Well, what happens is a lot of coaches who were the smart ones would use them in critical situations when all their timeouts were gone in a game and you had to get a ball in bounds. You didn't have 5 seconds. They were running out. If you hadn't used your 20-second timeout, guys were faking an injury. We had that happen when I played last year against New Jersey. A guy just... Van Bredikoff reached over like he hurt his ankle. They couldn't get it in bounds. We wound up losing the ball game because they got it in the next time.
The reason they changed the rule is a series of bad acting jobs.
Oh. Hey,
not Emmy Award performances like our producer, director, Sandy Grossman.
I'm looking forward to that game Sunday. John Madden and I will be in Dallas to bring you that Los Angeles-Dallas rematch. Larry Bird, and rejected by Marvin Webster. Fine, blocked by Webster. Williams against Roby. He'll be called for charging.
Offensive foul charge against Sly Williams. His third personal foul. That's 3.
Bird goes in. Good timing by Webster. One of the few good blocks we've seen so far this afternoon.
Well, he has the nickname of the human eraser, and he erased that shot.
Well, he did what Bill Russell started. That's just flicking the ball. He didn't just swat it out of bounds. He kept the ball alive so his team had a chance to get it, and they did.
Celtics trying to tie this game up. Roby with Webster on him. Broken up by Cartwright to Williams, and almost got away from Richardson and did. Henderson went for the steal.
That's 2 fast breaks in a row that they did not execute very well.
Not really under control in either circumstance. Red Holzman, Butch Baird to talk things over as we have a timeout. A 2-point lead for the Knicks at the 9:40 mark of the second quarter. It's been said that the Knicks this year, they make mistakes. They make mistakes at 90 miles an hour. They don't waste any time. A young team playing with enthusiasm. The last 2 times down the floor, they've made those kind of mistakes.
You know, those are the kind of mistakes that over season don't hurt you as much. If they're hustle mistakes, they don't hurt as much as the mistakes you make when you're not really out there digging it. That's one thing I noticed about the Knicks. They play with great enthusiasm. And they will win a lot of games just on that.
38 all. Can't be Russell with Larry Bird on him. And Bird was with him as tough as you can get, but he got it anyway. Had a hand in the face, and he still was able to drop it. Campy now with 6 points.
Just a routine fadeaway 20-foot shot.
Got to make them, don't you, to play in this league? At least once in a while. Roby off to Archibald. Glenn on him. Bird. And you can see him collapse on him and commit the foul. And Campy Russell's the man that's guilty of the foul, and that's his second. A little argument there with Wally Rooney, but you know where that ends up. Roby, Webster out. Webster really playing much better now that those knees have started to respond. Here's Kevin McHale, and the rookie hits it. Kevin McHale, their #1 pick. As you know, they traded 2 of their picks, and there's a steal in the backcourt.
So another costly turnover for the Knicks. A little careless with the ball.
Here's Roby, left-handed hook. He's developed that shot more and more each year.
Boston takes the lead, 42-40.
And now Boston by 2. As I started to say, they traded 2 of their #1 picks to Golden State, their 1st and 14th, to pick up that first pick, which they exercised by taking McHale, and he's going to be around for a long time. Webster doesn't get anything but the side of the backboard. Gerald Henderson, the fastest man on the team, but Glenn comes away, breakaway to Cartwright. Cartwright to Campy. Fine play by Cartwright.
I don't think he felt that Tanner was going to really challenge him on that layup.
Campy Russell with 8 points. Russell coming in here with an average of just over 16 points a game. Bird on the move. McHale tries to bring it around, and it's a loose ball foul. Bird that time really ducking inside and hitting the deck.
That's Cartwright's second personal foul.
Committing the foul, Cartwright, his second.
See the drive right here. Now you see Webster, he hangs back, he hangs back. He could have been up to shut the drive off early. He stays back, makes a good play though, and blocks the ball. Cartwright got called for pushing off. And it was actually the second foul because he was pushed off first.
Bird.
Larry Bird.
Well, if you can't get inside, just go outside. That's the great thing about this young guy. I asked Bill Fitch what he's improved in. He says, it's hard to say this, but in your second year, there's nothing really he needs to improve in. spotted something inside.
Fouled by Gerald Henderson. That's his
Henderson
first
committing the
personal
foul, trying to hang on to Ray Williams. For him, that's his first personal. Williams trying to get it into Glenn. Glenn, who was 1 of 8 against Denver earlier this week, really's had the hot hand earlier in the year. Williams, rebound by Bird to Archibald. 7 minutes to go until halftime. At halftime, we'll have a feature about the mystique of the Boston Celtics. Bird, rebound off to Williams. And here's Glenn. Boy, when you're not shooting well, they just don't go down for you, do they? You can see a little hesitation.
You know the old saying, when they go bad.
Doesn't take much to throw it off.
Here's Bird with a left-hander. Tipped by Roby. What a play by Rick Roby.
And that happens so often, Bill. Centers, a lot of them, just they don't box out because they rely on their jumping ability. That was a perfect case there, and the man just came over his back and tipped it in. Let's watch Larry Bird and see how he works on the boards, Bill. See the shot going up. Good cup formed inside by the Celtics. Bird goes up with the rebound, looks down court, and he'll get that fast break started. Fine all-around performer for the Celtics.
And a look at Madison Square Garden here. At halftime, we're going to have an update on the blue-gray game as Dick Stockton and Hank Stram will be providing the description of that game, and that will be following our game. And we'll let you know a little more about it at halftime. Halftime along with that feature that has Bill Russell and Red Auerbach on it.
You know, what is happening here as the game is developing, the Knicks don't run as many plays. They're relying more on fast break. They run plays, but not as often. They use a lot of freelance offense. Whereas Boston, a lot of their plays, they're playing one-on-one, but they're using it one-on-one on the inside and have a lot of cutters.
Russell with that last basket now with 10 points. A 2-point lead for the Boston Celtics. Ford off to Bird. Michael Ray Richardson picking him up. Here's Henderson. Nice play by Gerald Henderson. A man who came out of Continental Basketball League and has played very well and improved. In fact, in the preseason, he led this team in scoring and has had to play more due to the injury to ML Carr. 4-point lead. It's going to be cut to 2, though, as Cartwright's in. He will count. And McHale reaching in, committing the foul.
Tell you the position inside that Cartwright has a good pass. He had McHale out on his right side, kept him there. There's the foul. He goes up nice and strong and takes it to the basket. Chance for a 3-point play.
Red Holzman says we go to this guy like he's been in the league for years, showing you the confidence they have. A big 7-footer who weighs around 240 pounds. Now trying to make a 3-pointer out of it. And he cuts it to 1. Boston by 1. There's a pick being set in the backcourt by Roby. Pressure put on by Williams. Off to Bird. Bird, by the way, already has 6 rebounds in this game. Ford.
Chris Ford.
He has that shot out there.
15-47.
And it's certainly characteristic of him. No one else has one quite like it. 50-47. Boston by 3. Michael Ray's going to set. You don't see him do that very often. Williams, he's hammered. The basket will count, and again, a chance for another 3-point play coming up. Rick Roby with the foul.
Scored by Ray Williams and the foul.
The shot coming up.
By Rick
There's Roby standing. It's a long rebound. No screen out. Ford did not screen Williams off the board. He saw the ball bounce in. He came in. Roby winds up picking up the foul.
And now Williams at the line.
We talked about boxing out. There's a simple situation where the guard did not box out and enable him to get an offensive rebound.
It's all even now. 50-all with 5 minutes to go in this first half. Here's McHale. Out to Henderson. Williams on him. Henderson, left-handed shot. That's what he is left-handed. He works that to advantage.
Bill Webster had no idea the man was coming until he was on top of him.
Here's Williams. Henderson going for the steal. Ray Williams with the ball handling into Cartwright, posting up on McHale. Roby up on the boards. Here's Bird with a rebound. That's his 7th. And he is working hard at both ends of the floor. McHale. Intended for Henderson. Michael Ray Richardson, who led the league in steals last year. He's fouled in the backcourt as he makes his move up the floor.
That brought Bill Fitch up off the bench. He wasn't too pleased with that call.
Henderson.
Let's see if we can pick it up. There's the bounce pass inside. Richardson goes over. Anderson just dove for the ball. There's another one of those bad acting jobs you were talking about, Bill. He fell down after he had the ball stolen and tried to make it look like he got hit.
Well, you know, those little guys got no business posting in anyway.
Well, when the centers don't come over and pick them up anymore, they go in there all the time now. You know, as soon as you got out of the league and Thurman and guys like that, all of a sudden the great shot blocking centers became a rarity. Just can't find them anymore. That's why the team defense has really improved, Bill, because they didn't have guys like you to send everything to.
You picking on little people now, Bill?
What's that?
Are you picking on little people?
Well, they get what they deserve.
All right, 52 all. 4:20 to go in this first half. By the way, Williams in this game is 6 of 7 from the field. Ray Williams been very hot for this New York team. Henderson off to Ford. 10 seconds on the shot clock as Roby. Roby, big, strong guy out of Kentucky. Henderson with Richardson on him. 3 seconds on the shot clock. 2, he forced it. Richardson to Webster.
That was good defense by Williams. He came over to help out, made him change the shot.
Richardson now trying to give him the lead, and he can't get it to go. Coming away with this McHale. I'll tell you, McHale and Roby, big, strong people on the board. No room underneath that time. McHale, and the rookie hits it. You can see why they're excited about McHale. And we're going to have a backcourt foul again against Boston.
Again, Bill, you told him before, the people about reaching in. He had good defensive position again, and Maxwell again reached in. In the backcourt, I would say that 80–90% of the time they're going to call a foul against you if you even come close to the offensive man on that play.
So going to the line, the foul committed that time by Maxwell. His second will be Campy Russell. Penalty in, so he'll have 3 to make 2. This man has to be happy being in New York. Hey, who do you like here, Mr. Russell and Mr. Berry?
I like L.A. because of what you told me.
What did I tell you? I don't remember. Now, wait a minute.
You got to like the home team.
Well, that's Dallas then, so you're split. What did I tell you? I can't remember. 54 all. We have a good one here. Maxwell. Oh, Maxwell charging into Campy Russell. Wait a minute. They may say Russell moved under it.
They're calling the block. Watch the play here. Now let's see if Campy gets himself set. He sees the man coming. He moves over. There he is. He's still moving as the man is committed. That's a good call by the officials that time. Campy shuffled his feet and moved under him.
And that's his 3rd foul. You look at Larry Demick, who started to come in. And now coming in and getting ready to come in is going to be Sly Williams. Henderson. They leave him alone, and he gets it to go. 2-point lead now for Boston. Williams, who has a hot hand, Ford on him. Backdoor, Richardson, fine play. Boy, that was pretty, wasn't it? Michael Ray Richardson now with 12 points. Henderson off to Roby. Cedric Maxwell at the 2:56 mark. Henderson again. Well, they can let him shoot. He'll take him. This time he doesn't get it. That will be off of Cartwright. Boston will have it, but Rick Roby's been shaken up on the play.
Now here's that last backdoor play. Gives a little look. Catches the man Henderson looking out. Right to the basket for an easy 2. Good basic basketball. Like to see those kind of plays.
You know who this is, Rick Berry?
Yes, that's my fiancée, Pam Stenison, and number 2 son, John, enjoying the festivities here Christmas Day at Madison Square Garden. We've got a good ball game here.
John going to be a basketball player?
He's a player.
He's a player.
Yeah, he likes to shoot, too. You wouldn't know. I wonder where he got that from, right?
I'll stay out of that one. Okay, 2:49 to go in this first half. As you can see, we're all even. Bird into Henderson. Here's McHale. McHale back to Bird. Inside Cedric Maxwell. And Maxwell is having an excellent.
He said, who's guarding me? Who's guarding me? Who's guarding me? Who got me?
Well, he's had 14 points, 12 of those coming in the first quarter.
Bill, you know those centers don't like to guard forwards. Cartwright was on him.
Where he's playing, that's not a forward position.
I agree with that, but still it's a forward. He probably has a mental block. He said, hey, he's a forward. I can't guard this guy.
There's Williams. He needs some help. Well, he's going to shoot it instead. Second thought didn't pay off. Richardson, though, with the rebound. Richardson, Dwayne Scales, a rookie now from LSU, is in there. 6'9", partially blocked. Bird comes away and he's fouled. Ray Williams got a hand on him, and Larry, you can see checking to see if he has everything still on the front of his face.
Backcourt foul. That's his second personal foul.
He's had a lot of backcourt fouls in this game.
Over the limit.
That's called a five-finger defense when you get a lot of those backcourt fouls.
5-finger, huh?
Yeah, that's using your hands, not your feet.
And not your head.
Just your fingers.
So Larry Bird will go to the line with 2 free throws coming.
Larry Bird,
The 2:02 mark.
Chances to make 2.
Williams, by the way, that's his second personal foul. The only guy a real difficulty for the Knicks is Campy Russell with 3 along with Williams. And at halftime, I'm really looking forward to this. The Celtics mystique. Bill Russell and Red Auerbach, and then a report on the blue-gray game. Dick Stockton and Hank Stram will be providing the commentary on that game and to give us a preview of what we can expect. So Bird gives the Celtics a 4-point lead. 8 points for Larry Bird. The high point man, Maxwell with 14, Henderson with 8. Here's Scales. Scales trying to hit Richardson. That was tipped by Boston. It'll be New York's basketball. 12 seconds on the shot clock as Richardson will inbounds. Last time they did this, they got an easy one inside. Off to Scales. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Scales. Rebound Bird. He's down, and we're going to have the ball out of bounds off of Williams. So it'll be Boston's basketball. I really like the way this guy is hitting the boards.
Let's see what happens on Larry. He goes up for the rebound there. Here you see him come in. There's a good box out. See how he battles for position right there. Got the inside, goes up, and his feet just slipped out from under him that time.
Minute 30 left in this first half. Into Maxwell. Bird jumping out quickly with Scales defensively, and the shot won't go, and Webster brings it down. After Richardson. Richardson looking to Williams, who is on the baseline. Now he gets it to him. Ford against him. Ray Williams. He hasn't missed very many, and we have a loose ball foul coming up.
They're calling that loose foul on Cartwright that time. Red Holtzman comes off the bench. He thought that should have gone the other way.
Well, that's 3 on Cartwright, so 3 of the Knicks now. Make that 4 of the Knicks have 3 personal fouls.
He might have had a legitimate complaint that time.
I think so. It looked like he definitely was getting pushed off by McHale, and he just, again, got caught for the second foul, as you see happens so often. But the thing I don't like what's going on now, Bill, is the way the Knick offense is executing. They're getting stuck out there with nobody moving, taking difficult shots, and you can't win ball games that way, not against a good team like the Celtics.
Well, what they're not doing, they're not moving very well without the ball. You know, the key to moving without the ball is not just to have motion, but it's to time your motion so that when you go anywhere near the basket, your man's a step behind you. And the way you do that is change your pace. Don't run the same speed all the time. They're moving, but they're not moving with any purpose.
Predictable. They're very predictable.
62-56. Boston with a minute left. Ray Williams trying to maneuver for the shot. Now to Webster. Boy, he's double teamed. Has to get it off to Williams. That's a tough shot, but he got it to go. Williams
62-58.
with 19 points in this first half. 4-point lead for the Celtics.
See, that's what makes good coaching.
When they go through like that.
The play breaks down and the guy makes a 25-footer with 3 guys on him.
Oh, a little debate here. McHale thought that was off the Knicks. Instead, it's off of Boston. Now, wait a minute. Lee Jones is saying the ball was kicked. If that's true, Boston still has a basketball.
That's what the call is going to be. Lee Jones is overruling Wally Rooney on this play. New 24-second clock.
And so Bird will inbounds it. Bill Fitch up now, motioning on the far side. He has the play set, indicating there's 30 seconds left in this first half of play. Henderson off to Bird. Bird, nice move on Scales, but he walked with the basketball. And you see the time left now in the first half.
He just drug that back and forth just a little bit, about a half a yard.
Now both teams are even in turnovers with 8 each.
Elgin Baylor used to do that all the time, though, didn't he?
Well, a little more finesse, though, with Elgin.
He'd sneak it in.
He'd only drag it about a foot.
Now waiting for the last shot. You see the time in the upper portion of your screen left in the first half. Almost and did lose the ball to McHale. McHale intended for Bird. Look at that. Webster looked like a wide receiver. Richardson with 2 seconds. He got it. cuts it to 2. Michael Ray Richardson, who ends this first half with 14 points. Cuts it to 2. Stay with us at halftime as we're going to have the Celtics mystique coming up. A look with Red Auerbach along with Bill Russell, and also a report on the blue-gray game.
It's a moving experience.
Cookie and Merry Christmas, everyone.
The preceding message was furnished by the National Basketball Association. There's our halftime score. The Boston Celtics leading the New York Knicks 62-60. Well, we'll be bringing part 2 to you about the Boston Celtics mystique. That'll be January 18th when we'll be in the Boston Garden bringing you the Lakers and Celtics. We'll have some game footage, more technical look at what made the Celtics so successful. Well, we have a very busy sports schedule coming up on CBS. Basketball, football, to update you, to give you an idea of what's ahead. Let's join Brent Musburger.
The message was furnished by the National Basketball Association.
Well, we played one half, and now to take a look at that first half, let's go courtside with Rick Barry and Bill Russell.
Thanks a lot, Gary. Quickly, let's take a look at a few of the highlights of the first half. We'll take a look first at Larry Bird's fine offensive move. He did not shoot particularly well in the first half, but he did pass the ball, and he was on the boards and did a good job there. And here's this offensive move coming up in the corner. The ball will go into Larry. He'll turn and make a good fake, get Campy coming out at him. Russell, that is, makes a pump fake right there, loses Cartwright, lays it in the basket for 2 points for Larry Bird in Boston. Meanwhile, later in the quarter, to tie it up at the end, when we had a good first quarter, there you say Michael Ray Richardson going in, laying the ball in on a fine pass from Ray Williams. In the second quarter, here's Ray Williams with the ball again. He had a real hot first half on a fine backdoor pass. Great play into Michael Ray Richardson. That tied it at 56 all. And here with the clock running down late in the second quarter to get the Knicks within 2, Richardson takes it all the way down the floor with 1 second remaining, lays it in, and that's an example of the type of penetration that both teams are able to establish, Bill. We talked about trying to establish something in this ball game. If you were in the Celtic locker room talking to that team, what would you tell them to try to do?
Offensively, I would do pretty much the same thing, because 62 points is a lot of points. Defensively, I would say stop the New York guards as high as possible. I stop them at the top of the key. I wouldn't wait for them to get to the foul line, because they have not reacted too well when they've been picked up early. They have not gotten good shots because they're not running their offense very well.
Quickly, what would you say to the Knicks if you were Red Holtzman?
Well, I would say to them, you've got to try to penetrate and make the transition much quicker. You got to get the fast break. You got to get it. You got to force the fast break, and you have to do it a little more under control. Defensively, I'd have to get the weak side forwards to open up. In other words, they've got to turn around and be able to see their man and the ball in the whole court so they can help out defensively, because they're peaking on defense. And that's
in this first half, Larry Bird had 9 rebounds, but also 5 assists to show you what a total first half he played for this Boston team. 2-point lead as we start the second half. Archibald, Bird, Maxwell, Chris Ford, and Robert Parrish open the second half. The same 5 that opened. Russell, Ray Williams, Bill Cartwright. Sly Williams will start the second half with Richardson as Parrish is loose. And I do mean he got loose on that one. 4-point lead now for the Celtics. Parrish with 7 points. He had 5 of them in the first quarter. Larry Bird with his 10th rebound of the game. Break to Ford. Chris Ford took advantage of a little
good move by Chris Ford. He picked like he got his head up like he was going to pass the ball. And all the time he's making the move toward the basket.
9 points for Ford as Richardson going back, but we're going to have a foul. A basket will not count by Richardson.
Foul was by Nate Archibald. That's Archibald's first personal
Our backcourt camera, there's the pass inside to Parrish, wide open. Demick completely out of the way. Robert makes sure he gets 2 on that one.
The other end, Archibald committed the foul on that last move by Richardson, inbounding the ball. The Knicks, Cartwright, nice touch as he finds a hole.
Now, what the Knicks did not do the second quarter, although they got a lot of points, but it hurt them defensively because of the shots they were taking would not get you can't get back on defense. And what they did not do is they did not get inside. In the first quarter, they got inside very well, but the second quarter, they did not get inside very well, and it hurt them defensively.
Well, let's see if they can do it in this half. As Bird now having a little trouble with the ball. Out to Ford. Rebound, Sly Williams. As we said, this man is a complete new basketball player as opposed to his rookie year when he really struggled. Ray Williams. Bird again, 11 rebounds for the 6'9" second-year man. He's seemingly always in the right spot. Archibald.
You know, Gary, last year, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, who were 1-2 in Rookie of the Year, were probably the best two new rebounders to come in the league.
And interestingly enough, one of them was a guard and the other's a forward.
Right. For last year, they were, of all the guys that came in, they were the best two on the boards.
Cartwright with that basket with 13 points. 4-point lead for the Celtics. Parrish, he had to arch that shot too high. Bird is there. That's just sheer hustle. And Larry Bird now with 10 points.
And those are the type of baskets that the coach hates to see happen. You play good defense, make the other team miss a shot, they get the offensive board and lay it in for an easy 2.
70-64. The Celtics looking for victory number 9 in a row. Sly Williams, the left-hand shot. Bird with another rebound, and he's getting a bundle of them here in the early going to the third quarter.
That's playing making good outlet passes, too.
Right into the Celtic hands, go taking shots like that. That's no good on the offense.
That's what I was talking about. The Knicks will have to go inside, and they have to get their big guys involved in the offense, which they're not doing. So consequently, it's hurting them defensively.
Did you see that move by Parrish? That was a nice move, one-on-one. 72-64. Parrish with 9 points. The Celtics playing well, and there will be a foul on Nate Archibald. Let's go back on Parrish inside.
Timeout.
Well, there's the end of the move. Robert had gotten position and spun to his left, made a good fake as Williams came over to help out, lays it in the basket. Just bad defensive position on the part of the center. 72-64 Celtics.
Well, the Boston Celtics, after leading by 2 at half, have bumped it up to a 72-64 lead, and Larry Bird already has 4 rebounds in this third quarter.
Well, the Celtics are doing what they have to do to change this game around. They're picking up the Knicks early and not letting them penetrate. And the Knicks are not, when they don't have penetration, they're trying to force it. And so what they're doing is they're not getting good shots.
And Red Holzman, I'm sure, made that point very clear. There will be a goaltending call. Campy Russell will be awarded the 2 points. 72-66.
And this is the type of play that they have to get, the penetration. Campy taking it all the way to the basket. Parrish comes over, makes the block, but the ball was on its downward path.
Boy, that shot really showed it behind the backboard. Maxwell with Sly Williams on him. Now you can see they're trying to pick him up aggressively, and they do it this time, and Williams with the steal. Williams to Richardson, and that backcourt duo pays off for 2 points.
Now, when you see the Knicks get inside, then they're playing good ball. That's what they have to do. See, what they did, they took advantage of the Celtics not being able to get back on defense quick enough.
And here it is. Williams up to Richardson, and Michael Ray Richardson now with 16 points in this game. That may be the best Christmas card a grandmother ever got.
You mean grandmothers watch NBA?
You better believe
CBS?
it. And I'll tell you something I'm going to be watching on the 27th, that Sun Bowl game, Mississippi State against Nebraska. The Maroons are the team that beat Alabama earlier this year. 72-68, Boston, 8:30 to go. Third quarter, Archibald, well, no foul, but he got 2 points.
Boston lead 74-68.
Tiny with 12 points. Campy Russell, Maxwell on him. The Celtics calling that timeout to kind of quiet down the Celtic push. Off to Sly Williams. Williams on the move against Bird. Runs into Parrish. And we're going to have a foul on Robert Parrish.
Foul by Robert Parrish. That's his 3rd personal foul.
I think they've been listening to you, Bill, because now they're trying to get inside. Here you see the drive by Williams coming over is Parrish. He really just had his arms in the air, and the contact was made up in the air. Foul on Parrish.
And that's the 3rd on Parrish as you look at Sylvester Williams, second-year man from Rhode Island.
and I called him Demick earlier on a replay, so I apologize, Sylvester. He's much bigger than I am, so I'm not going to argue with him.
Oh, I don't know. He's 6'7". You're about that, aren't you?
Excuse me? You have the right guy, Gary?
74-70. Pressure now. Off it comes at Ford. 2-on-1. Cartwright. Goaltending.
And that's what you have to do when the big guy challenges you. You got to go as far as you can and make him commit when it's too late.
I tell you, Bill, you were the master at that particular play, and that time Cartwright picking up the goaltending. 6-point lead for the Celtics. And you can see Celtics are playing pretty tough defense, but all of a sudden, baseline Williams, Cartwright. There's that multiple shot. They haven't had very many of those. The follows inside.
Now that's what the Knicks have to do. When they're playing well, they're getting a lot of stuff inside.
That's going to turn it over as we go back on that last play.
There we say the play. Good pass inside. There's the shot. Ball comes off, and Cartwright just bowls his way in there and knocks Maxwell out of the way to get it back up and in.
That last play, there was a foul against Archibald, turning the ball over, his third. Cartwright horses it inside, and he's fouled. Cartwright's starting to go to work right now.
Well, in order for the Knicks to be competitive with this team, they have to go inside and get Bill Cartwright involved in their offense.
That's a fourth foul on 0-0. Parrish in foul difficulty. Here's Cartwright, all-time leading scorer at your alma mater at San Francisco.
Bill Cartwright on the line.
Is that right? Well, you were a defensive player out there.
Oh, a lot of people thought I was pretty offensive.
You weren't when we made that one highlights film about showing how to shoot the hook shot. I had lunch waiting for you to make one.
Cartwright with 15 points with another free throw coming. 7'1". He is 9th in the NBA in field goal percentage, but not hitting well from the line, even though he had 79% coming into that. Whoa, almost traveling, and nope, no whistle. They thought Parrish had traveled with the ball. Instead, he has a shot underway. Tipped out to Cartwright. Chance to cut it to 2. Michael Ray Richardson, and he's fouled by Archibald. Boy, Richardson, those long arms leaning in on that particular play.
But the big thing, Bill writes, the Knicks have turned things back around. They're starting to do the things that Bill mentioned at the half just before the start of this third quarter. They're getting inside. They're getting the running game going. They stopped taking those perimeter shots, which plays right into the Celtic hands.
That's 4 fouls on Archibald. So all of a sudden now, Boston getting into foul difficulty as Gerald Henderson, number 43, comes in.
Now, the Celtics are not doing what they have to do. They have to pick up the Knicks guards early and stop the penetration. Because what the Knicks have to do to stay in the game or try to win it is to get inside. Now, if you let them work Cartwright inside, you got half a chance because you say he'll shoot half of them and maybe get some free throws. But if you get them fast breaking, they're going to get a lot of three-point breaks. And when they get that kind of penetration, they get a lot of three-point plays from their guards.
They had the penalty in, and so it's cut to 2. Chris Ford from the corner. Cartwright trying to follow, and the foul on Boston.
That's on Parrish. That's big trouble for him. That means Roby coming off the bench. And the big factor right here with 6:59 to go, Gary, as you pointed out, is the Celtics already are in the penalty. So that the Knicks are going to get many free throw opportunities. And this is even more reason, as you see the foul committed right there on our replay, to get the ball inside. The Knicks have no fouls against them, team fouls.
Rick Roby now coming in, and it certainly has to be of great concern now to Bill Fitch.
Now, the reason Parrish got that last foul is he started for that rebound much too late. He didn't screen out, but when he started for the rebound, you cannot rebound if you wait until the shot has hit the rim and then go for it. You got to start rebounding before the shot's taken.
Here's a look at it, Bill. You can show what you're talking about.
See, there he comes in now. That's too late. That's much too late to rebound.
He also tried to rebound from about 8 feet from the basket, jumping into the basket, and so the men were able to get inside of him.
Well, Parrish with 5 fouls comes out of the ball games. We mentioned Roby has checked in. Archibald also playing with 4. You can see the Knicks are playing with enthusiasm, but that's going to be a foul.
Well, they should be enthusiastic. They should be aggressive right now. That's the first team foul. They have a couple more to waste. They can take an opportunity to double team and be more aggressive.
That's the 3rd foul.
that was not the ideal place to pick up your dribble either, by the sideline just over half court.
Third foul on Williams. Henderson with Williams on him. Henderson almost losing the ball. Out to Roby. Oh, it's funny how the tide in this game has changed all of a sudden. Here's Roby against Cartwright. The crowd also is sensing something right now as the Knicks are starting to make a move. They're down by 1, 76-75. Richardson to Williams against Ford, and New York has the lead. Williams now with 21 points. The Knicks with a 1-point lead at the 6:21 mark of this third quarter. Ford off to Henderson. Tipped up by Roby, and we're going to have a loose ball foul. Roby over the back trying to follow.
Loose ball foul charge against Rick Roby. That's Roby's second personal foul.
There's Roby. Bad shot right over the basket. Air ball gets knocked up in the air. Battle for the rebound. Campy comes down with the rebound. And the Knicks are off, trying to take advantage of a fast break situation.
Two shots.
Penetration by Richardson over right there. You saw the push off that time by Williams. He didn't get called for it. Hit the jump shot. So a good opportunity basket for the Knicks.
Now what the Celtics are going to have to do in order to stop this tide that's engulfing them is that they're going to have to work that ball inside and either get the Knicks to commit a foul while shooting or get a shot inside. Because right now, a 10 or 15-foot shot in most cases will not be a good shot, even if the guy's wide open.
78-76 is actually the score as Maxwell.
That's the kind of basket inside. You've got to get inside. That's how you turn it around.
It's all even. 16 points for Cedric Maxwell, who had 14 in the first half of play. Here's Williams. He wants the shot, doesn't he? He is hot. Ray Williams over his average for the year now with 23 points in this game. 2-point lead for New York. 5.5 to go. Third quarter. Larry Bird. And they answer at each end. This tempo has really picked up, Bill. Richardson with Henderson. Off to Williams. Williams, boy, he's really involved right now. Look at him.
Hey, when you got the hot hand, you want the ball. Williams knows he's shooting it, and you can tell he's looking to try to score points right now.
Boy, that must be a great feeling, Rick, to have that, to know it's going to go in. Here is Henderson. Out to Bird. Pulls up with a tough shot. That was a tough shot to hit, and he did. 82 all.
82.
Larry Bird with 14 points. Russell in there hurrying down the floor. Russell at the other end, and now they're just exchanging baskets. 84-82. New York by 2. Roby with Cartwright on him. Roby trying to drag him outside. He won't go with him. Henderson off to Bird. Bird, he wants the shot. Boy, is that something?
Score is tied at 84.
16 points for Bird. I think he's as hot as Ray Williams is at the other end of the floor. It's all even again.
He's keeping his team in the ball game because he's one of the few guys that's just taking his time and making the good shots.
That is not a good shot right there.
That was Sly Williams that took that shot. Here's Cedric Maxwell off of Boston. New York will get it back. Bill Fitchup, very personable coach. Last year, the NBA Coach of the Year is Campy Russell now motioning. That's 12 turnovers against the Celtics, 9 against New York. Marvin Webster getting ready to come in to the Knicks lineup. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Michael Ray Richardson, Roby with the rebound. Out to Henderson. Bird up to Ford. Henderson batted away by Richardson. Here comes Campy Russell. Bird behind him. Campy Russell got down there in a hurry.
Larry Bird should have taken that last shot. He was wide open. He threw it to a man, and he didn't know that the defensive man was coming over. He thought the man was open, but he had a good shot, and he had the hot hand. He might have thought about shooting that one.
Campy Russell with 19 points. Playing very well here this afternoon. Bird, baseline to Maxwell. Maxwell out to Ford. He's inside the three-pointer. That'll only be a 2-point play. He was just a foot inside the line. 13 points now for Chris Ford, and the New York Knicks have called timeout. Let's look at that last basket.
There is his pass inside. A little bit before that, he was open. Now, there's a good pass inside to Henderson. He goes up, coming out of nowhere, Michael Ray Richardson knocks the ball loose. Campy Russell takes it. He's off to the races for an easy 2.
And here goes Campy Russell for 2 of his 19 points. Well, there's one of former New York Knicks, Bill Russell and Rick Barry. Hawthorne Wingo, and he has quite a fan over there. He has quite a few fans, I should say.
As our producer, Bob Stenner, said, he's a legend in his own section.
Well, immediately following this game, the 43rd annual Blue-Gray Football Classic.
That's mean. That is mean.
New York, by the way, has...
repeating what Bob said.
New York, by the way, has no turnovers in this quarter. Boston has 4. Bird has 7 rebounds, and he's 4 for 4 from the field in this third quarter. There's Ray Williams, and he's about as hot. That's one of the few he's missed, and there's another rebound for Mr. Bird. 86 all, less than 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bird. Richardson with a rebound. Well, he gets a lot of rebounds for a guard at 6'5". He forced that one, and he's going to be called for charging. Richardson that time didn't have any place to go.
You know, interesting thing, Gary, and that a few minutes ago, the Knicks had everything working real well for them. They were running, they were getting penetration, they were getting inside. And Bird almost single-handedly responded. Every shot they missed, he got the boards, and he hit 3 or 4 shots in a row to keep them in the game. So that run didn't take him out of the game, which it can do in a lot of cases unless you get somebody to pick up the slack and respond to a run like that. And that's a very important part of the game, is that when they had that run, they didn't get away from the Celtics.
They didn't panic, did they? There was Cedric Maxwell a moment ago hitting a beautiful hook, a running hook, and Bird with another rebound. Remember now, he had 9 at halftime. He had 7 already in the early going of the third quarter. Chris Ford outside the three-point line.
That was Chris Ford.
Chris Ford has hit another one from out there.
Celtics lead 91-86.
91-86.
The set shot lives.
How many did you hit in a row one time out there?
Oh, I don't know how many in a row. I had 8 one game last year. Sometimes you get lucky.
There's Cartwright leaning in, off balance. Williams with a big rebound. He's fouled. The basket will count. The foul against Larry Bird.
And again, no screening off in the guard's part. That's the second time that Ray Williams has been able to get in on the offensive boards and get a chance for a 3-point play. There's Larry blocking out. And you see right in there, with nobody screening him off, comes Williams, gets the rebound, foul, chance for the 3-pointer.
Well, you know what happens a lot of times? A good defensive team, they will have to switch because of screens and blocks instead of away from the ball. And what happens in a lot of cases, a forward will switch with a guard, and the forward will almost never block out or screen out a guard off the offensive board. Now, if he's guarding his own man, he'll screen him out. But if he gets a guard, he just think about out-jumping him. With the guards in the league nowadays, you got to screen everybody out.
That's exactly right. One of the things we used to do on a switch-off, I'd tell the guy, I said, if the center has you, I said, after you've got it, go outside, somebody make a move. The center's going to try and go back to his man. Just stand there, and you get the ball to him for an easy jump shot.
To show you what you're talking about, Williams has 7 rebounds, 4 of them offensively. Larry Demick is checked in for the Knicks. This is Richardson. Michael Ray on Ford. He put on a move. Michael Ray Richardson.
Chris Ford never had a chance on that because he was wide open trying to get back on defense. And he was running as fast as he could, and Michael Ray Richardson's giving him 3 or 4 fakes.
Let's go back and look at that again.
Now, see, Chris Ford is wide open. He's going as fast as he can, and here's this guy giving him all this action here.
And New York's first foul within the
He's lucky he didn't get called for a foul on that one. He was falling down off balance.
Trip. Don't trip over the foul line as you're going back.
That line gets awful high sometimes when you
Demick committed a foul at the other end, his 4th, and now another foul coming up against the Knicks. Mike Glenn, who's just checked in from Southern Illinois. They call him Radar because of his pure shooting ability, even though he's hit a slump in that shooting department. Henderson will go to the line for Boston.
Well, even the radar machine goes on the fritz once in a while.
Let's get a little interference there. 91 all, 1:03 to go in the third quarter, and Henderson not able to get it to drop. This guy shoots left-handed from the field, Rick, but goes up there and shoots right-handed free throws. And this time he gets it to go, the penalty in. He has 9 points. Anybody still shooting underhanded now that you've left the league?
George Johnson from San Antonio, who I worked with when he was a teammate of mine at Golden State. He needs a little more work, though.
Got it down. You're not a very good coach, evidently.
Hey, he's better than he was before.
93-91. Less than a minute to go in this third quarter. Here's Webster. Roby on him. Here's Glenn. Out to Russell. Campy Russell having a good day. Fakes Maxwell up. 4 seconds on the shot clock, and Glenn gets that one after missing 2 earlier in the ball game.
And again, the penetration made that play. The defense had to react, and that opened up a man.
Larry Bird, and the Celtics by 2, 95-93, and an excellent game here on Christmas Day. Richardson with Henderson on him. Michael Ray Richardson now looks up at the clock with 20 seconds. We're going to wind this clock down as we come to the end of the third quarter of play. Richardson with 20 points in the game, trying to get a couple more. Rebound Maxwell. You see the time left. Richardson steals it, knocked it off of Henderson. And it'll be New York's basketball. Richardson a heads-up defensive play.
He took that shot too early, though. If they're going to run the clock down, you shouldn't run it down to 10 seconds and take the clock. It's too much can happen to it. Make sure that you get the only shot. They were looking to come up with that.
They got away with it. There's a three-pointer. Again, they had a little more time, and I think Richardson realized, and the third quarter has closed here at Madison Square Garden. So the Boston Celtics, who led by 2 at halftime, now lead by 2 as we've played 3 quarters here in New York. Game. Bird has 18. That is the high, along with Maxwell. And the New York Knicks are led in scoring by Williams with 28, Richardson 20, Russell 19. Pretty good balanced scoring in this game.
Pretty good balanced defense, too. Or lack of.
I was going to say, you have your tongue in cheek on that, I can tell. 95-93 with Bill Russell and Rick Barry. I'm Gary Bender. As Glenn inside, and he's fouled. Mike Glenn, fouled by Kevin McHale, who just checked in. Second foul on him.
Have a shooting slump is to get a few free throws, and you can pick up a rhythm. You know, get inside and see if they can foul you, or get inside and you pick up a rhythm. And the only way you can get out of shooting slump is to shoot your way out, and it's a lot better shooting your way out of the free throw line. Isn't that right, Rick?
I guarantee you, that's for sure. You try and get in there, get an easy basket, hustle on the break, get a layup off the end of a break, and it just makes you feel better that things are starting to go your way. And the next thing you know, you'll hit a jump shot, and then you're off.
You can see he hasn't missed very many free throws. Look at that, 90%. And he hits both of those. And we're all even again, 95 all. That's the way it's been all afternoon long. Bird off to Chris Ford. Ford with Richardson on him. 15,202 on hand here today in Madison Square Garden. Larry Bird. Webster with a rebound. They have both the big men in there now. Cartwright and Webster. A lot of height in this Knicks lineup right now. Here is Webster. Off to Richardson. Henderson hustling on defense. Richardson off balance and hit it. Richardson now with 22 points. 97-95. Webster on Bird, and Bird went by him quickly, didn't he? Go back on this rebound by Marvin Webster.
Yeah, we'll watch Webster.
Now, that's the way
Webster.
he rebounds. See, he started for that rebound just as the shot was taken.
He actually made a little attempt to screen, and a lot of big guys I point out don't do it. And you said that you used to screen out, Bill.
That last
That's
foul.
because that's such a little center.
They cleared out when you went up. That last foul was on Richardson. That's his third. 97-95. The Knicks by 2. Bird looking baseline to Henderson. And that's off of Henderson. It'll be New York's basketball. Hustling defense that time by Mike Glenn. Glenn is a man who was drafted by Chicago, was in a severe automobile accident, never did play there, and they're glad to have him in New York. He is the second leading scorer in the school's history at Southern Illinois. Walt Frazier, of course, the first. And what a job he did here in the Garden. Marvin Webster to Campy Russell. Tipped up by Richardson. Richardson just keeping the ball in play for the Knicks as they reset the shot clock. What an effort by Michael Ray.
Yeah, they wound up taking a bad shot and got a break thanks to Richardson.
Richardson can't get it this time. Kevin McHale does. McHale off to Henderson. The Knicks still by 2. 10 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Remember now, immediately following this, the blue-gray game from Montgomery, Alabama. Bird to McHale. And McHale showing a lot of poise down the stretch. Nails that one. It's all tied up. 8 points for McHale. 97 all. Here's Russell, and he's going to be called for a charge. Campy Russell ducked in, and he ran into a lot of green shirts on that play.
Yeah, that was no opening there.
As an end result, he has picked up the personal foul. Timeout is called. 9:49 left in this game. And we wish Brent Musburger a Merry Christmas, too.
Oh, really?
I wish.
What's this wee bit? What's this wee bit? You wish Brent Merry Christmas.
Well, you're happy to have him at home, aren't you?
Boy, I tell you, you guys set me up on that one. He got a nice Christmas present, though, the new contract.
Yes, he did. Merry Christmas, Brent, to you and your family, and I'm sure you're happy to be home for a change.
You saw those games coming up later today. Utah at Washington, San Antonio at Phoenix, Golden State. As we hope you'll take that opportunity to watch those teams in action. Chris Ford, rebound, Kevin McHale, once, twice, can't hang on. He tackles Mike Glenn as he tries to come away. Gonna have a loose ball foul coming up.
Loose ball foul charge against Kevin McHale. That's his third.
Red Holtzman have to be sure that Lee Jones spotted that particular foul, and he did. And so McHale picking up the personal foul, that's his third.
There are a lot of games won by the big guys getting on the floor.
You got down there a few times.
I remember Dave Cowens in a couple of playoff games diving for some loose balls to come up with a big play.
That's what Bill Fitch says they really miss sometimes, is down the stretch, the way he would do that. And Cartwright leaning in. No, we may have had 3 seconds. We did. 3 seconds in the lane, and that's going to turn it over to Boston. Cartwright staying in there too long. And at the 9:07 mark, the Celtics with a chance to take the lead. Ford yelling something off to Henderson. Williams on him. Larry Bird out to Henderson. Glenn picks him up. Beautiful pass to Bird. Where did he come from?
What Bird did was when he get away from the ball, if you get two passes away from the ball, the defensive man has a tendency to relax.
Followed by Gerald Henderson.
20 points for Bird.
Now watch Bird come over here. Here he hides. His man went over the top of the screen, got caught cheating. Larry came back the other way. 2 points.
On the other end, Henderson committing the foul. The Knicks with the ball. Cartwright lost it. It'll be Boston's basketball.
I'm surprised. Tiny Archibald hasn't been in for quite a while, and he had so much success penetrating, getting inside the New York defense. I wonder if he's hurt at all.
No, he's got 4 fouls.
99-97.
Not doing very much with 8 minutes to go in the game. I mean, he can help him in this situation, I think, and get that penetration back, because the Celtics haven't done that much of it.
McHale, Cartwright on him, and 3 seconds again in the lane. So both teams now have gotten the lane violations called against them. As coming in is Michael Ray Richardson. 12 turnovers against New York, but 16 of them against Boston.
Not that Bill's making a mistake. He has to make the decision, but don't you think a lot of times players sit on the bench a little bit too long? I mean, they can't do you any good sitting there on the bench, even with 4 fouls.
Are you guys going to disagree here or what?
Well, yes.
I think we can do that, can't we?
Yes.
There's no rule that says
the reason
we can't.
that I would disagree with that is that the team that Fitch has out there is working pretty good. And sometimes you bring a guy in, although he may be a better player, you may change the chemistry just enough as you're not as effective. Because I think Gerald Henderson is a little better defensive player, although neither team is really outstanding defensively. He's a little better defensive player than Tiny.
Cartwright hitting the deck here. We have a 20-second timeout. And I want, again, to remind you about that big football game coming up Sunday in Irving, Texas. The Rams against the Cowboys. And that game, well, Los Angeles has won the last 2, winning the regular season game in last year's playoff. And Dallas, I don't think they'll forget that last setback that they received at the hands of the Rams. And that'll be Sunday.
Well, you can be sure they will not forget it before Sunday.
You think a coach might remind him a couple of times? I think Tom Landry might do that very thing.
If he has to remind him at this point in the game, they're in deep trouble.
And that's when the NFL today will be coming on the road. And we'll get to see Brent.
That's right.
Back to work. No more vacation time.
Phyllis, Herb, Jimmy the Greek. Here's Williams, and he's fouled. Ray Williams. Committing the foul is Henderson. Henderson with his fourth.
Personal foul.
And going to the line will be Ray Williams.
Celtics are over the limit.
So the penalty now in.
Ray Williams on the line.
Same situation again. That's the penalty situation against the Celtics. The Knicks only have one team foul, so we're seeing the same thing that happened in the third quarter.
And now with a chance to tie it up, Ray Williams. 3 to make 2. 99-98.
Bill, when would you bring Tiny into the game, or would you not bring him in depending upon what happened? A guy like Tiny and also Maxwell.
Well, you got to wait till you get down under 5 minutes before you start, because you want to make sure that if you want him down the stretch, and if he gets that fifth foul with too much time to go, then he becomes ineffective. You got to take him out again, and you don't want to have to take him out once you put him in.
Bird with 4 seconds on the shot clock, missed that one. Williams having trouble, picked up by Henderson. 99-99 our score, 7-17. Bird. Marvin Webster with a block. Off to Richardson. Richardson to Webster. And this place has erupted here in Madison Square Garden. The Knicks with a 2-point lead.
And Fitch wants a timeout right here. We'll see the play coming up. Gerald Henderson with the ball, gets it off to Bird. Bird comes in. Now watch the crash in here. There should have been a foul, either a block or a charge. No call is made. Gives the Knicks a big break. A long pass down the court. Richardson goes up, gets the man to commit defensively. Back to Webster. 2 points for the Knicks. They've got themselves a 2-point lead with 7:02 to go here in the ballgame.
The Sun Bowl in El Paso, Mississippi State against Nebraska. And then, of course, that NFC wildcard game. Remember now, the pregame show will start Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern time. And then it all begins, the kickoff at 1:30. What a Sunday afternoon that'll be.
And Bill
right
Fitch
here on CBS.
Bill Fitch has brought him back into the game with 7 minutes to go. Bill, a little early. Tiny Archibald, also Robert Parrish, and Maxwell.
I think he was forced to by the way things are going out there. I don't think he wanted to, but I think you have to have these guys in there to change the pace to stay in that ball game. You can't let it get away. But I think he would have liked to have left Parrish and Archibald out a little longer.
Larry Bird with that last basket has 22 points. We're even again. And that's been the story all afternoon long in this very, very intense game from the Garden. Williams, he has his own missed shot. The reset on the shot clock. He brings it back out. 6:19 to go in this one. Williams now setting it up. Chris Ford. You see some pushing and shoving inside between Cartwright and Robert Parrish. Look at him. Here is Cartwright now. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Ford, left-handed shot, and we're going to have a loose ball foul on Cartwright. Cartwright trying to follow.
Now that's a common mistake teams will make. You have a guy in foul trouble, and they try to take advantage of him by going one-on-one. And what happens is most of the time you do not get a good shot, which he did not get, and you commit fouls. And another thing happens is even if you get a shot and you don't make it, your team is standing around because you're playing one-on-one, and you can get hurt by that. What you try to do is the guy's got in foul trouble is try to make him get involved in plays where he has to move laterally from side to side, and you can get him in foul trouble much better that way than you can trying to play him one-on-one.
And there is that foul trouble. Parrish in the most difficulty. That last shot missed by Archibald, Richardson on the move, and Maxwell.
Now that's the type of play that Bill's talking about. A move like that on a penetration right to the basket now as we watch Michael Ray Richardson make this move. There he goes, little hesitation, trying to lull him to sleep. Right there, he makes the quick little fake there, gets a half a step on Ford. There's the bump with the body. That's the type of move you want to get. They're in the penalty situation. This is where the foul situation can become critical.
Ford with the foul. 3 to make 2 now for Michael Ray Richardson. And the Knicks with a 1-point lead. 102 to 101. Remember now, the Celtics come in here second in the league in defense, holding teams to 101 points a game. So obviously the Knicks are above that one this afternoon. He'll have another free throw coming.
Well, all they have to do is shut him out the rest of the way and they'll be okay.
Think that might happen?
Yeah, you got a better chance of getting struck by lightning.
And then some.
Where you're sitting right now.
I'm moving. 5:30 left in this game. 102-101. New York by 1. For Richardson had 3 to make 2. Only got 1 of them. Archibald off to Bird. Bird against Campy Russell. And the money man, Larry Bird, able to nail one again. And Bird now has 24 points. The other end. Parrish comes away with it. Off to to Archibald, a 1-point lead for Boston. 5 minutes left in the game. Archibald waits for help. Now goes in. Blocked. Archibald hits the deck. No whistle. Williams on Bird. Williams dribbles out of it. Almost went out of bounds. He'll reset it. Archibald hit the deck. Had no whistle. I don't think you can believe it. Let's look at it again.
Tiny on the move, goes up, overcomes Webster, makes a nice block on it that time. Tiny falls down to no avail. Boston, 1-point lead.
Once again, we'll be going to Montgomery, Alabama, immediately following the conclusion of this game for the Blue-Gray game. Our next NBA telecast on CBS will be January 18th from a place that Bill Russell is very comfortable, the Boston Garden, against the Los Angeles Lakers. Also have part 2 of that Celtics dynasty, the mystique. What caused it? You're looking at me with that blank expression like, I don't know. So Bill will get you back where you intimidated a few people on that basketball floor. School girls and their gorgeous teacher. Well, that's kind of involved, isn't it? That's tonight on CBS.
I got to check that Magnum PI. My son John said he really liked that show, and I haven't had a chance to watch it, so I'll have to see.
Well, was it charming and disarming at the same time? That's pretty hard to be.
You see that man?
Yes, sir.
He's 19 years old, but that's what coaching will do to you.
I was wondering why you were turning a little gray, Bill.
Okay, 4:49 left in this one. The Celtics by 1, 103 to 102. 3 timeouts left for both of these ball clubs. In it goes to Cartwright against Parrish. Bird again with the rebound. Larry Bird, who came in to the NBA today, 4th, averaging over 11 a game, well above that standard this afternoon. Maxwell with Webster on him. Maxwell, who just seems to be very slow, and all of a sudden he'll put a move on you. Here is Bird. Tough shot, and he gets it. Boy, when you got that touch, that ball just seems to bounce around the rim and go through. 105-102, Boston. Russell out to Marvin Webster. Back to Russell. Maxwell on him. Can't be Russell. And that one will go over the backboard. It'll be Boston's ball.
They don't need a shot like that in this situation. That is not a good shot. They're trailing by 3 points 4 minutes to go. They got the penalty situation in their favor, and they're taking 20-foot jump shots.
Well, the Knicks are most effective when they're going inside. Now, what they're doing is the same thing they did in the second quarter, is that they're not penetrating, and they're not getting moving without the ball. So they end up taking 20-foot jump shots.
That is going to be a goaltending or a push-off. A push-off.
Offensive foul, Maxwell. Let's see if we can pick it up right here as he makes the penetration move. Watch his left arm. Didn't look like he was shoving off on that one.
I don't know. It looked like they both did something there. Right now is 0 for 5 in his field goal shooting here. The last 5 shots as Parrish comes down to the rebound. 105-102. Boston still the lead. 3 now. Archibald left unguarded.
And that's what I said that Archibald can provide for the Celtics. That great penetration off the transition.
Trying to come up with a steal is Maxwell. He hits the deck. Can't be Russell. The Knicks need a basket. And Cartwright has an open shot.
That was Bill Cartwright.
107-104. Maxwell hustling at the other end. And he took it up against Webster and got away with it. And
in your face. In your face, big fella. Take that.
There's the play coming up right here. Drive to the basket by Tiny. Webster's right there. He brings it way out to the side, gets it out of Webster's reach, lays it in. Tiny Archibald, 5-point lead for the Celtics.
That commercial with Red telling you guys to stay in line, that's a good one. Casey Jones is here. Bill Russell is here.
I was in that commercial.
You weren't in that one, no. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Next time
we'll buy you a beer after the game, Bill.
Well, anyway, Casey Jones is here. By the way, Cedric Maxwell down this stretch has been effective, and for the game, he's 7 of 8 from the field. That's the reason he leads the NBA in field goal percentage. And Bill Cartwright. Oh,
well, that's what you got to do. He's 5 fouls on the man that's guarding him. Parrish, go inside.
Rick, I think that was a good shot.
You think that one went through? 109-106, and that ignites this crowd again. 2:29 left in the game. In the Parrish against Cartwright. He got a piece of the ball. Maxwell, and a loose ball foul.
And the reason that he got that ball, we'll take a look at Cartwright's move. Here he goes, makes the back end move, just muscles in. Parrish doesn't want to foul him. He says, here, take that one, big fella. Here's another angle on it. Gets the ball. Parrish just stands there. He just goes up and muscles his way to the basket. If he could do it once, he could do it more often. I'd like to see him try to do that and make him a better player. But that last play, no boxing out that time. Campy Russell did not back Cedric out that time.
That was Russell's 5th foul of the game. For pushing away from the ball. 2:16 left in the game. 109-106 Boston. Sly Williams now picks up Bird. Parrish. And we have a holding foul. Foul as Parrish moved inside. Cartwright committing the personal foul. That's his 5th personal foul. Russell with 5, Cartwright with 5. And Holzman now sends Larry Dimmick into the line. Cartwright will come out at the 2:09 mark. There's Dimmick. Bird inbounds it to Archibald. Boston Celtics trying somehow to win their 9th straight. Here's Archibald. Out to Bird. Bird out to Ford. And Larry Bird with a running left-hander.
And with the left hand, great versatility. Fine player.
28 points for Larry Bird. Richardson out to Sly Williams. 1:45 left. Out to Williams.
No movement that Bill talked about.
And there's a steal by Chris Ford to Archibald. Richardson hustles down. Look out. Uh-oh. He really hit that upright. Richardson lost control. Great effort on his part to try to stop Tiny Archibald.
That's why those supports are padded, and even with that padding on, it's still really hard, and his head just really banged against it. And you can see right there that he's got his bell rung. Oh.
He slipped a little bit as he was headed towards that, and that seemed to be where he lost control completely. What a hustling effort by this young man out of Montana. I really like this backcourt of New York's, Williams and Richardson.
It looks like he's going to be okay, but again, Bill, you talked about the no movement that time. The Knicks were all standing around watching Ray Williams dribble the ball, and they wound up getting it taken from him.
And the Celtics took advantage of it and double team. That's how they made the steal.
Richardson's going to sit down. Let's look at that last play.
And watch Michael Ray right there under the basket, number 20. Here he is. He gets a little tangled, falls down. Now watch his head. Whack right off of it.
Boy, there's hadn't been any bigger hits in the NFL this year. There's the foul difficulty we mentioned. As you can see, 3 men with 5 fouls each. 111-106.
And Glenn's in the game.
Celtics now taking a little bit of time. To Bird. Williams on him. The cutter is Maxwell. And a pushing off foul inside. It's going to go against Larry Dimmick of New York.
Now what the Celtics are doing now is what you have to do down the stretch. They're taking their time and moving without the ball and trying to get a good shot. And they're trying to get a good shot inside.
The penalty is now in, too, and that, of course, comes at a very opportune time for Boston.
What they're doing, they run a play where they send the man down below the screen on Parrish, and he has the option of peeling off and coming across the top in the middle, or perhaps just popping out, depending what the defense did. That time, Dimmick tried to follow him around the screen, and when you do that, you're dead, and he had to wind up grabbing Maxwell on that play, and that was the foul was called.
Richardson has checked back in for New York, so evidently he's all right, and that's good news. Maxwell hits them both, and Maxwell has been superb today. 22 points. 113-106, a minute 19. Campy Russell. The Knicks are going to have to start scoring in a hurry, and must have stepped over the end line.
He carried the ball that time, Gary. Palmed the ball. And again, trying to go one-on-one, no team movement. They are not executing. The Celtics are winning this game because they're executing better right now.
Archibald, and he is fouled in the backcourt.
13. Foul was by Ray Williams.
It'll be Ray Williams committing the foul.
Difference in a good team as opposed to a really outstanding team is the way you execute when the game is on the line.
And of course, this Boston team last year eventually eliminated by Philadelphia, who went into the finals, losing in 6 games to Los Angeles. Bill, this is going to be some chase in this Atlantic division, in particular when they get down to the playoffs.
Yes, these are the kind of games that the good teams win. You go down the stretch, and the other guys are the ones that have turnovers, 3 seconds, out traveling, and things like that. Now, what the Celtics are doing and have done the last 5 minutes is really take their time and make sure that you get a good shot every time down. Either a good shot or a free throw.
We've also had Larry Bird make some outstanding individual moves. He's been a big factor down the stretch, and this time the substitution by putting those fellas in at that time has won the game for him. So Bill Fitch made the right move at the right time.
We're going to have a timeout. I think another thing, Ben, is again shows the Knicks are a young team. They're learning a lot of things in a hurry. They're being force-fed. They're a promising young basketball team. We'll be back with 1:12 left to play. The Emmy Award-winning Sandy Grossman, our associate producer Rick Sharp, guy who did a great job on the feature, Mike Burks, will be also working with us throughout the course of the year. We thank all of these people for taking this holiday to work with us, assist us, and just do an excellent job.
You know, one thing, Bob Stenner, we were talking about Sandy's award. Bob's won a lot of awards also, but we can't mention him on the air.
Hey, I got to work with him. I don't know what you guys plan on doing the rest of the year.
We don't have to work with him.
Oh, is that right? You got that in your contract?
That's right. A lot of things we have to do, but working with Bob Stenner is not one of them. We don't have to do that.
But I want to know, is he executive producer or senior producer of the NBA? I haven't gotten that right yet.
Fat producer.
Fat?
P-H-A-T. Oh. Fat producer.
Also, he got rid of his mustache. Got rid of his mustache, and I can't even recognize him anymore.
He shaved it off. He said he's going to grow it back overnight, though. I don't think he can handle that. He can do a lot of things, but I don't think he can do that very well.
I tell you, this Knicks team, Bill, if they continue to learn by the mistakes that they make in situations like this game here, by the time playoffs roll around, they could be a much better basketball team and really give the Celtics and everybody else a lot of trouble.
Three-pointer by Ray Williams. And Maxwell brings it down. Maxwell's played well. Larry Bird's played well.
I'm glad to see the Knicks at least try the three-pointer. That's why the rule is in. You can get back into a game. If they had hit that, they had a chance to do something, even down 9 with a minute and something to go.
Don't forget now, immediately following this, the 43rd annual Blue-Gray Classic. Archibald tried to hit Maxwell. Maxwell somehow came out of there.
Cedric Maxwell.
Cedric Maxwell, 24 points. What is he, 8 of 9 now in this game from the field? Three-pointer again by Williams. Can't get this one to go. Bird brings it down. Don't forget our next NBA telecast, January 18th from the Boston Garden against the Lakers. I guess they say Magic Johnson will be back sometime in March. 23 seconds. Archibald playing a little keep away now, and he could do it with the best of them. Parrish brings it out. 5 seconds on the shot clock. And they walk with the basketball. Bird has 20 rebounds. He has 20 points in the second half. And Larry Bird for the game had a total of 28. I think that pretty well epitomizes what he's done in this game. You can see why he was Rookie of the Year, 3rd in the MVP balloting last season. Just doesn't play like a second-year man.
He didn't like a first-year man last year.
That's a good point. Those are the kind of guys that coaches just kind of leave alone, right?
That was Bill Cartwright.
Cartwright hitting with 2 seconds left, and that's going to do it. 117 to 108 as the Boston Celtics have won their 9th in a row. And men, I've enjoyed our first encounter this year at the NBA.
A happy New Year to everybody. Look forward to seeing you again on the 18th.
Okay, Bill.
Try to stay out of trouble, will you, Gary?
We'll try to. All right, for Rick Barry and Bill Russell, this is Gary Bender saying so long from Madison Square Garden, where the Celtics win their 9th in a row. Stay tuned now as we're going to have the 43rd annual Blue-Gray Classic following in just a moment.
The NBA on CBS is sponsored by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less, and by the